This video contains spoilers for Long Day's Journey into Night, the play by Eugene O'Neill, and will involve discussions relating to suicide, addiction, mental illness, and abuse. Viewer discretion is advised. Additionally, I would like to explicitly state that I am not a professional psychologist or anything of the sort, so please do not take anything I say here as authoritative. This is simply a project for my high school English class. Anyways, enjoy the video. Long Day's Journey into Night is a play that was written by American playwright Eugene O'Neill and was published in 1956, which was 3 years after his passing. The play explores and portrays many heavy topics such as drug addiction, alcoholism, emotional abuse, and severe illness. However, in this essay, I would like to center in on the character of Edmund Tyrone, the youngest son in the family that the play centers, and give an amateur psychological analysis largely based on an excerpt of the conversation between him and his father James that occurs in the final act of the play. Edmund, throughout the play, shows various signs of Major Depressive Disorder, a chronic mood disorder characterized by a repetition of depressive episodes, typically lasting about 2 weeks, though they can last for longer and/or shorter periods of time. Within our scene of focus, Edmund references a time when he got so low that he attempted to kill himself.
Oh, I know. You had your stint of hard work with your back in your hands and a little bit of being homeless and penniless in a foreign land, and I respect you for that, but it was a game of romance and adventure to you. It was play.
Oh, yes. Yes, particularly the time I tried to commit suicide at Jimmy the Priest and almost did.
Oh, yeah.
When he says this, Tyrone denies the seriousness of the incident, stating that he only did that because he was drunk, to which Edmund says,
I was stone cold sober, Papa. When that was the trouble, I stopped to think too long.
There is a prevalence of alcohol abuse in this family, most potently in the older son, Jamie, so this is also something to keep in mind. However, there is no reason to believe that Edmund struggles with alcoholism, as he is the one member of the family that shows no real dependence on any sort of substance. Based on this, if we were to say that Edmund was potentially struggling with MDD, then this attempt would most likely be the result of a rather severe depressive episode. About a fifth of MDD patients experience chronic depression, more minorly affecting their mood outside of the full-out episodes, and this is something that Edmund also displays. And, while it's not an official diagnostic part of the disorder, it is common for depression patients to have interest in morbid or heavy pieces of media, which is a big point about Edmund's character throughout the play, that he prefers dark and depressing contemporary poetry and plays, as opposed to the things that the rest of his family takes interest in. In addition to the potential of him struggling from this mental illness, it's also important to note both Edmund's past trauma and the ongoing struggles in his life. The most notable thing to mention in this regard is that his mother, Mary, has a severe addiction to pain medication, something which began shortly after Edmund was born and which has had a major negative effect on the family as a whole. She relapses during the course of the play, and Edmund is blamed a few times for the fact that she is an addict to begin with, something which would surely have a negative impact on his mental health and self-esteem, possibly stirring up feelings of guilt, anger, and self-hatred. Alongside this, he's also emotionally and even verbally abused by the other members of his family. The most obvious example of this is his conversation with Jamie after Jamie comes home drunk, but it's also evident in the scene of focus for this essay. Throughout the entire scene, James says things that are inconsiderate and dismissive of Edmund's interests, feelings, and experiences, but the heart of the matter stems from Edmund's illness. See, Edmund has tuberculosis, and Tyrone's idea of treating him is sending him off to a cheap and underqualified sanatorium, even though he has the money to afford a more expensive one. But, another common thread throughout the play, James is cheap, and when Edmund calls him out on this and the fact that his life is quite literally on the line, James goes on a long-winded spiel about the struggles he faced as a kid and the value of $1.
You want to talk about work? How much do you think I got for that? 50 cents a week, and that's the truth. 50 cents a week.
To James's credit, this resolves with him bringing up other options, but the fact of the matter is that James, along with the rest of Edmund's family at various points throughout the play, treats Edmund like lesser goods and like his struggles aren't important or he's just being dramatic, and this could easily be a contributing factor to his low mood, in addition to a potential depressive disorder. The most common forms of treatment for major depressive disorder are therapy and medications, such as antidepressants. The latter of which, if even an option at the time that the play takes place, probably wouldn't be the wisest for Edmund, considering his predisposition to addiction. Therapy would be a better option for Edmund, since he clearly has a lot on his mind, and he can't really talk to anyone in his family about it because of their previously mentioned consistent dismissal of his feelings and problems. Cutting back on alcohol intake would also probably be a good idea for him, along with the rest of his family, to avoid it leading to alcoholism. If he could get out of the house more, that would also be nice. The play ends shortly before he would presumably go into a sanatorium, so the break of sorts from his family may be a positive thing considering that they are at the root of a lot of his turmoil. To end this out, Edmund Tyrone is a rather tortured character, though that's not exactly a unique feature coming from this particular play, and displays signs of major depressive disorder alongside a lowered mood stemming from trauma and family issues. Poor guy. Hopefully you gained something from watching this. If not, well, then I hope I can at least still get a passing grade on my assignment.
Well, we don't seem able to avoid unpleasant topics, do we?
No.